The Xbox 2023 showcase had plenty of first-party updates, some great-looking third-party announcements, and obviously a huge Starfield Direct that looked amazing. But there were 6 announcements or updates that we would have loved to see. So here are our top 6 missing items from the Xbox showcase. State of Decay 3. Originally revealed back in June of 2020, State of Decay 3 from Undead Labs has been completely silent. There were some reports about a troubled development from Kotaku, and we speculated that based on these reports and the release history of the studio that 2024 would likely be the earliest, and it seems like even that might be a long shot, because a lot of the games shown at the showcase were already listed for 2024, which means that the release calendar is already getting a little full. State of Decay 3 will likely be a very in-depth live service game, and it's going to be hard to get people to come back if the launch is rough, so making sure that it's in the best possible shape on launch day is crucial. id Software. Everyone remembers what happened in March 2020. The world shut down because Doom Eternal went head-to-head with Animal Crossing New Horizons. However, since then, id Software, one of the godfathers of first-person shooters, have been very quiet. Doom was released in 2016 and Doom Eternal was released in 2020, which would make sense that a new title from the studio would be coming around the 2024 ballpark. And with id showing some love towards the Quake IP with the remaster, as well as turning Quake Champions free to play in 2022, it seemed like a reboot was making plenty of sense, especially with the directions that you could take that series. There was also the possibility of a whole new entry in the Doom series, or even a brand new IP, and all of these options would likely be built from the id Tech engine, which means that the heavy lifting of engine design is already done. Machine Games. With Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny due out this summer, it seemed like the stars might have been aligning for Machine Games, because in early 2021, it was announced that the studio was working on a new entry in the Fabled Adventurer series. And by the sounds of it, the new game won't be a traditional shooter like you would expect from Machine Games. Instead, Todd Howard, who is going to be serving as the executive producer, said, "I will just say it's a mashup and it isn't one thing." With Todd Howard likely hands very full with Starfield and its launch, it seems that late 2024 would be the earliest that this might happen. Machine Games did release Wolfenstein: The New Order in 2014, Old Blood in 2015, New Colossus in 2017, and co-developed Youngblood and Cyberpilot, which both came out in 2019. Now, this seems strange that they haven't released anything in the 4 years since. And keeping that in mind, it would seem likely that they are currently co-developing different projects at the same time, which includes Indiana Jones and Wolfenstein 3. So hopefully, 2024 is going to be the year of Machine Games. Third-party indie game changers. One thing that Xbox has done over the years during the slower times between premium releases is land exclusive deals with some of the most innovative and original indie games. Ori from Moon Studios, Cuphead from Studio MDHR, and Limbo and Inside from Playdead all come to mind. Ori and the Blind Forest is one of the best memories that I have from my Xbox One, from the time I bought it on day one until the time I bought my Xbox Series X in 2020. With Xbox having Silksong at last year's conference and Team Cherry just recently delaying the game, I thought that they might have went out to get the exclusive rights to another high-profile indie title. Crowsworn from Mongoose Rodeo has been getting plenty of attention. Replaced is another one that is already confirmed for Xbox Game Pass, and getting a release date or release window would have been great. There's also whatever Evil Empire or Motion Twin is working on after Dead Cells, and these are just a few indie titles that come to mind when thinking about the next big indie. Halo Infinite Project Tatanka. Everyone knows about Halo not needing a BR, but it definitely needed more content than it had at launch. With such an open sandbox to play in with the amazing world created from 343, there was plenty of opportunity, and that is where Certain Affinity comes in with their addition to Halo Infinite, which is currently codenamed Project Tatanka. Whether the speculation is true and the mode will be a battle royale or an extraction type mode or even something similar to Warzone from Halo Guardians, it would have been nice to get a small update to ensure the fans of Halo Infinite is still going to be a large part of Xbox's future, especially after Joseph Staten left. At one point, Halo was the most important part of the Xbox portfolio, and maybe that time will come again. Gears 5 came out in 2019, and with Halo Infinite not re-establishing itself as the premier console shooter, You could argue that Gears IP is the most valuable in the Xbox portfolio. There were plenty of options for Gears to make a return. Gears Tactics came out in 2020 and it expanded the IP into another genre effortlessly. Gears 6 is obviously in development with the ending of Gears 5 along with the success the game saw both critically and commercially. Finally, you have Hivebusters, which started to scratch the surface of extraction-style modes for the series, with huge franchises like Battlefield and Call of Duty trying to emulate Escape from Tarkov. And if the Coalition are able to incorporate other teams along with hive-busting, there is something very special here, and Gears would have a standalone live service game that would complement the main entries.